You are listening to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where illumination and inspiration is but a click away. With so many genre topics for you on everything that you need to know in life. We celebrate and share the people who have taken the journey before you and who are now here to serve you with their wisdom and their knowledge. The next show coming up is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sara's View of Life here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I am Sara Troy. Well, here we are still in this pandemic. We are seeing some improvement in areas. The curve is beginning to turn. It's been a test on our patience, a test on our ability to go in, a test on our reflection of our lives, a test on what we're going to do when we get back out there. We know we cannot go about life the same old way. It is time for change. And the invitation for change is absolutely exciting. So what is exciting you right now? You know, we've seen people put on performances with their families to beat this hold'ems. We've seen people be incredibly creative. Here in Canada, we have had a team of people who have come up with a way of being able to test people's temperatures, at least 30 at a time, instead of the one at a time there, which will really help a great deal in any form of transportation or large groups. We've also seen them come up with blood tests, rather like pregnancy tests, for people to see if they've had the virus, which means if they've had, then they could actually go back to work because they're not going to infect people and they're not going to get sick. All these wonderful innovations and creativities that are coming about right now because of this virus. You know, the Second World War brought us the first beginnings of the computer and of the TV, and of course radio was way back, but telegrams and everything else, everything comes out of necessity, comes out of crisis. So, you know, I love the Celtic runes. They're the beautiful stones with the markings on. If you've seen Harry Potter, Hermione refers to them. And there's one called Hagalaz. And Hagalaz is, it's a wonderful rune. But the interesting thing about it, it is disruption. I'm going to read you a little bit about it. Hold on a second. I have to put glasses on for this. So, Hagalaz, don't try to fix what we should break before it breaks us. Hagalaz, Hag-all-az, literally is hail or hailstone. Esoteric crisis or radical change. Key concepts are hailstones, crisis, catastrophe, disruption, radical change, disruptive elements of nature, severe weather, the uncontrollable, the unavoidable, the unpleasantness, the jargon shadow, the psychoanalysis, regression, acceptance of the unattainable. Disruption, change, personal past. It's an energy, a power beyond human ability to harness, perfect pattern, seed formation, objective confrontation, deconstructive natural forces, chaos. And with the mundane, it brings bad weather, obstacles, surprises, shelter. The thing about the Hagalaz is that it governs the completeness and balance of power, integration of unconscious shadow elements, the inevitability of fate. Weird is another rune, WRYRD, or long. Evolutionary progress and operations of becoming, the outworking of a perfect pattern, protection through banishing or exorcism or disharmonizing patterns, protection, awareness of the unconscious ideas for eventual processing, causing discomfort in others by awakening by their own subconscious garbage. You know, this is the cool thing right now, you know, disruption. I used to get Hagalaz a lot, and it was always like, oh, why have I got this? I don't want disruption. And I realized disruption is me. It's what I've always done, is disrupted people away from their complacency, their comfortability, and to step into shaking it up. You know, as the universe says, they're here to shake us up, to wake us up, to step it up, and to change it up. Well, if ever there was an invitation, it is right now. And that shaking it up at the present moment is most certainly our invitation to change it up. So we're in disruption. But is that bad? How many people have cleaned their homes, sorted out stuff that they hadn't thought of doing before? How many people are spending more time with themselves, going inwardly, meditating, reflecting, assessing their future? How many people are communicating with their families better? Brackets, yes, I know, abuse is out there. That's a different subject. But communicating with their loved ones, the husband and wife actually being at home all the time with the children, having to entertain the children, having to get to know each other. Hagalaz disruption is not always bad. It may not feel comfortable, but it's always wonderful when you've cleared everything out and you look at things anew and you've got a new path to go to. That's exciting. It's like when we buy a new wardrobe or we have a haircut. We've spring cleaned the house, we've mowed the lawn, and we like the freshness of it all. So why can't we consider this time period as that? Soul cleaning, heart cleaning, spirit cleaning, mind clearing, and looking at all this wonderful disruption as a way of clearing out the old, the chaos, and the unforeseen, and preparing for calmer waters and preparing for what is to come, and just renewing everything. Yes, there are an awful lot of deaths happening out there, an awful lot of people suffering, and it is horrible in the way that these people suffer and die alone without their loved ones around them. Some people being found in their apartments, neglected. As a nurse posted on LinkedIn the other day, how exhausted she was. She was in tears, tired of going into a room and finding another person dead, having to call their families, the exhaustion and the exasperation of all the medical staff, yet more people coming in, never being able to stay on top of it. This is not diminishing what this virus is doing to us. But on the other hand, we're seeing less people out on the road, which means less accidents and less deaths. We're seeing crime down. We're seeing drug pushers not being able to be so proactive on the corner. We're seeing a lot of other things being a benefit. And it just means that we are going to have to look at all of this and go, okay, so if we don't want to see drug pushers on the corner, then we're going to have to be mindful of those corners in the future when we all get back out into the world. If we don't want to see more accidents, maybe we're going to have to drive slower or just not go so many places. Why do we have to be here, there, and everywhere all the time? Maybe we could actually appreciate our garden instead of just mowing the lawn and then going out. We could appreciate our home and our family and want to have more family time. We can appreciate our friends that we're not being able to see except for online and spend more time with them. We're so busy chasing life all the time that sometimes we simply forget to take a breath, to take it all in, to assess it, to digest it, and then to have a palate for something tomorrow. We're consumers of everything. We are opulent, we are entitled, we are greedy, and we are gorging everything so fast that we've lost the pleasure of eating, we've lost the pleasure of devouring, we've lost the pleasure of savoring. And I think slowing down at this present time is a wonderful gift for us to allow everything, all of our senses, to come back online, and for us to slowly register each one of those senses, the taste, the touch, the eyes, the inner feeling, the smell, and just reevaluate our lives and totally rethink about what we're going to be doing. Thank God we still have coffee though. The thing is, everything is always a gift, even in times of trouble. What a gift it is right now for the whole world to be in this at the same time. We all know what we're going through. There are wars that have been put on hold. There are people that are having time with family that normally never would. There are countries that are still denying this virus, and many of their people will die. It's also a time when the heroes step up. Yes, our nurses, our doctors, our janitors, our truck drivers, our service people on the front in the stores, all the people that are still working for us. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're keeping our lives somewhat normal and providing for us. We're not in wartime where we don't know where the next loaf of bread is, or the fear of being shot if we go out, or the Gestapo knocking on the door and taking us out. And we have to be mindful at the present moment that what we've been asked to do is isolate, stay away from people so that this virus can burn out and have no one to attach to. So the heroes that are out there right now mostly are women. 70% of the people in the storefronts and on the nursing and on the front lines there are women. And most of the time it is the women. We always revere the men out there on the forefront with the guns shooting everyone, but what about the women, behind, who are taking care of all those that have been shot? We have our caregivers there right now, and it's not just the nurses, it's the people that are taking care of the people in nursing homes at their own risk of lives. And yes, so many people have died in nursing homes, and there's going to have to be a complete review of how things are practiced during a pandemic in the future, because there will be more to come, folks. The hero is also within you. It's the people that have donated a lot of money or time or effort to being a part of the solution. The restaurants that are saying, you know what, we can't just let our food rot, but we'll sell it off to the public, or we're going to stay open for takeout. My son is one of those. His restaurant is still open for takeout and delivery to provide a service to his community, even though he's in a cask because he snapped his Achilles heel. He's doing that to keep some of his staff working and to serve his community. Kudos to him, to all the other people that have stepped up to doing that as well, to keep providing us with food. Not everybody cooks at home, and some people rely on that takeout food, or they just need a break from the food at home and want takeout. I'm missing going to a restaurant. I'm missing having certain foods, most certainly. Also, the people that the companies that we're seeing, that have converted their machinery into making the ventilators or making masks, providing the things that are needed on the forefront right now that governments are not being able to provide or unwilling to provide, depending on where you are. It's wonderful to see these industries because they have stopped production of their own product to change their machinery to produce something else that's needed right now. But we're also seeing other companies that are gouging, that are charging more than they ever would for anything because they know there's a high demand for it right now, even though it is a literally between life and death product. You see, those kind of companies are going to be remembered afterwards. And it's like, well, mate, nobody likes a profiteer during wartime. Nobody. And if you try to profiteer off the people during this time, I can't support your business. But the businesses that put everything else on hold to turn around and support these things, they're going to be remembered. You were there for us. You stepped up. You became a part of it. And we're seeing Twitter with, 100 million or billion. We're seeing stars throw out 1 million here or 5 million there, and people raising money, ordinary everyday people raising money. We're seeing people driving around celebrating people's birthdays when they can't have parties anymore. People going up and down the streets in and outfits, just to cheer everybody up. This is the time when you really get to know who your neighbors are, when you get to know your community, when you all step up to be there for each other. You know that Mrs. Jones over there can't go out. She's elderly, got health problems. You're going to go and buy her food for her. Your neighbor, are they all right? In an apartment, knock on the door. Is there anything I can get for you? Don't forget to wear that mask when you go out, or a scarf or something you can put over your face. Wash those hands, and if you can get rubber gloves, or even your leather gloves or cotton gloves, any gloves, because you can wash cotton gloves when you get home, and be mindful of it. Common sense is what's going to prevail. Compassion, right? Coming together, innovation, community, all those wonderful unsung heroes out there. If you go back to any of my shows, I have been saying for a long time, something is coming that's going to bring our world together as one, that is going to bring us together as communities, that is going to bring us together. Now, right now, we've been told to separate. Everybody keep to your own country. Nobody travel, nobody go in and out. We don't want you. I'm here on Vancouver Island. We don't want travelers right now. We're getting this under control. We don't want people bringing it over and making other people sick. Just stay home. I know the weather is nice. Go out on your balcony, go out for a walk somewhere where you can keep your distance, go for a car ride with your windows down. Do what you need to do, but follow the laws of common sense. Distancing, and also they're saying you can carry it on your shoes now. So when you get home, take your shoes off, leave them by the door, put those on again when you go back out again, don't walk about. Don't forget, you can carry it on your clothes. So wash them when you get home, your face, your hands. Be sensible, please. So many heroes and heroines are going to come out of this. So many people we're going to look to be grateful for. So many people are going to come to the forefront where we're going to look at their jobs and go, you know, I didn't even know you had that kind of job. I didn't even know that kind of job existed. Or I took you for granted. And instead, what we're going to see now is thank you. Thank you so much for being there for us at this time of crisis. Thank you so much for the service that you do on a daily basis. Understand this, when this is all over, our nurses, our medical front, all our crisis people that have stepped up right now and working 24/7 for us, they're going to need our help. They're going to need an awful lot of therapy, an awful lot of love. There's a lot of post-traumatic stress that's going to come out of this, and we've got to be there for them. They are our warriors on the forefront there. They're going to come home battle fatigued. Please be there for them. Don't just revere them right now and forget them later, as we have with our other veterans. Be there for them right now. So there's so much support we can do out there. I'm not going to tell you who to support or how to support, but look to something in your community. Maybe it's the food banks. We have a stream of homeless down the road from me that normally would be in shelters or be able to go into buildings, and they're just living out of tents in the middle of the greenery and the middle of the street, because they've got nowhere else to go. And even the food banks, everything is closed. So let us not forget those people, and understand when we invest in people, when we show them kindness and compassion, we are investing in them and their possibilities for tomorrow. So ask what you can do. What can you do right now? Maybe it's just something online where you're following people, maybe donating or supporting or sharing what other people are doing. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is, whether it's $1, whether it's $5,000, whether it's supporting people's causes or just cheering people on. It's all about contributing and doing something that's going to lift people up, because we have got so many awesome people out there right now doing so many awesome things for us, and I have extreme gratitude for them, not only for now but for always. Ask yourself, what can I do? I'm going to keep doing shows like this, keep interviewing people that are doing wonderful things, that are here to help us through these troubled times, to help us in our businesses, in our transition from a life we've lived that we maybe weren't happy with into a life that we want. Just being able to get through the stress of this time. What does the universe have in store for us? All of these. I'm still bringing all these wonderful shows to you. So don't forget, selfdiscoverymedia.com/shows, and you will see a whole lineup there, and you'll see all the wonderful people. And yeah, we are talking about this pandemic, not in the negative sense, all in the empowerment of what it means to us and what we can do with it, and how it can strengthen us, how it can discover our courage, how it can discover our purpose. There's so much to benefit from this in so many ways, and we've just got to look and see what they are. Don't give in to the fear. It lowers the immune system. Look to the possibilities of what we can do, when we can do it, how we can do it. Remember, Hagalaz disruption is here for a reason. All right? So don't be afraid of the disruption. Just look at it as spring cleaning. I wish you all well. I wish you all safe. I wish you all compliant with the rules, and please be there for each other. Don't forget to phone someone that maybe only have a landline. Don't forget to reach out to people. Don't forget to use this wonderful instrument, your phone, your computer, your tablet, and reach out to people that you love. Play games online, simply have a chat, touch bases. There's so much we can do. Don't sit back and moan and groan and whine. Get up and do something, because that's the invitation. Until next week, folks, I wish you all love, light, and life. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Do visit us at www.discoveringcommunities.org and see all the other wonderful shows that we have on our Orchard of Wisdom on self-discovery. And do check out our mentors with all the wonderful services they have for you. Until next time.